Welcome back to another video from me, FPL Crusader. Call me Luke if you wish. Now, the summer transfer window is heating up. So, let's have a look at 5 transfers that could really affect us for FPL 25-26. And the first one we're trying to look at is Mattas Kuna to United. It was long touted for him to go there. I think we knew it even before the transfer window opened. But for 62.6 million, that's very precise. There could be add-ons and everything else. He's gone to United. He's officially a United player as we speak. Now, is there a rotation risk with Cunha to start off in game week 1? There possibly could be, but we don't know yet. It depends on how the rest of the team forms, what happens with the likes of Xerxes, Ahmad, Garnacho, everyone else, Hoyland. So Cunha was 7.1 million in 25-26. The fact that he's going to Manchester United means he's probably up around 8, if not 8.5. But I've put a tentative hook there of 8 million. If they've got decent fixtures, he's 8 million and he gets a start, he'll be in close to 30, 40, 50% of teams. That's almost guaranteed. Now, the concern with Cunha going straight there is the rotation risk. As I said, they've got a lot of other players there. Bruno seems to be staying. Brian Mbeumo seems to be going there. So they're going to have a lot of good players next season. Their attack looks really good. Defense, as usual for United over the last few seasons, has been absolutely shocking, but we don't care about that in FPL because they simply don't reward defensive attributes in FPL at all. It's all about the attack, and Mattas Kuna could be a key to a good start to the season. 22 goals and assists at 14 XGI last year. The important thing for me is that in terms of chance creation, Bruno Fernandes was first last year with 91. Brian Mbeumo, if he goes there, he was 5th with 70. And we saw the likes of Wissa and Sade benefit from that as well, playing with Mbeumo. So Cunha, Mbeumo, Bruno, that could be a dynamic trio that we could all want in our teams next year. I'm not really sure if I'll get all 3 of them myself if they did start, but definitely 2 out of the 3. One of the issues I would have is trying to understand who the penalty taker is. Now, you'd think the captain being Bruno, he would supersede Brian Mbeumo as the penalty taker. Mbeumo's a pretty good penalty taker, and that's half the reason we really liked him last season in FPL, because he was getting goals, he was getting assists, he was a penalty taker. He's almost a perma player in our teams. But we'll see what happens there. You can see here with the heat map there, he was pretty much always on the left. Jumped on the inside a lot, but a lot on the left. So it makes sense to me that he could go start in the left wing position. Could that reduce his output? Potentially. Would that mean FPL Towers would need to make him a midfielder? If so, he could be fine next season. So Cunha to United is the first one we're talking about. That very much for me could be wait and see. Record transfer of 150 million. Florian Wartz to Liverpool. Now, he's been touted for a long time as one of the best players in the world, best playmakers in the world. I think it could be really good here for Liverpool. My only concern is that they don't really play with a true 10. And do they need all of that creativity if Mo Salah's there? Who knows? 25-26. I think he'll be up around the 8 or 9 million myself, because he is so highly touted. Liverpool made the league look easy last year because every other team around them decided they didn't want to win the title. So I think he could be up around the 9 million mark. It would make sense for the champions to have Mo Salah at probably 14 million this year, and the next person needs to be close to double figures, if not 9 million, because after him, I think they've only got the next is 8.5 or 7.5, and that's Trent, as we know, and also Darwin and Gakpo. And Diaz. Diaz is around 8, but he could be going. That's the concern. Wirtz could be taking Diaz's spot on the left wing. It could be very interesting this season. 22 goals and assists, which was 10th in the Bundesliga. So pretty good for a midfielder. Chances created, Salah was 3rd with 89, and Szoboszlai was 10th with 56th. It was pretty much a Mo Salah year last year. I don't really expect that to continue next season. I think it'll be more of a team game. Slot is definitely more of a team player in terms of just letting one person take over. But Mo Salah was having such a fantastic year that you couldn't really stifle his creativity and his attacking prowess. But I think if we let this guy go crazy, he could be as good as, if not better than, De Bruyne. No pressure, young fella. I think he'll do very well in the Premier League. Depending on where he starts, it's up to him. Oh, it's up to Slot, really. Next one is Ryan Ait-Nouri to City. 36 million from Wolves. Wolves are being decimated this season in the off-season. I hope they can stay up because they're an exciting team to watch. But they've lost Cunha, they've lost Ait-Nouri. I know they've got a couple of other good players, but it's concerning for their fans. $36 million is not too bad. 24-25 last season, he ended up on 5.1 million. We'd expect him to be 5.5, if not more. The issue is the Pep Roulette. Now, he plays down the left. We know Josko Vardio also plays on the left when he feels like it or when Pep feels like playing him there. So is there a minutes risk? Absolutely. He got 11 goals and assists, which is the first in the Premier League, the most goal involvements for any defender. Second was the mighty Robinson from Fulham. He got 10 assists, 0 goals that was. So, look, in terms of assists, Savio got 11, KDB got 9. It's not a lot for the team that has two amazing strikers in Haaland. Haaland and Mamouche, I should say. So I'm thinking Ait-Nouri could do some damage. You can see his heat map. He loves attacking as much as he does tracking back. So I think he'll do pretty well. But the only issue for me would be that Pep Roulette. If they're similar price, you probably end up going Vardio anyway. But he's definitely one to watch. I'd happily have him over Rico Lewis and probably pay an extra million for it if I could afford it. That's just my point of view. Liam Delap to Chelsea, 30 million plus add-ons. He was 5.6 million last season. He's probably going to be around the 6.5, 7 million this season. The minutes are going to be a risk. He got a good 12 goals last season for Ipswich, but the minutes will be very difficult. I've left Sancho out because he's gone. But you can see Palmer leads the way there in minutes. He got 3,193. Jackson got 2,200. Same with Neto. Madueke just over 2,000. But in the next graph down, it's per game week. So that's per game week they've actually played. Palmer averages 86 minutes when he plays a game. Jackson averages 74. Madueke 67. Neto 62. One of those players will need to sit on the bench for this bloke to start. I don't really think that's going to happen initially. He's definitely competing with Jackson because neither of them can really play on the left or the right. They're both proper suited to playing that number 9 role. He's definitely one for the future. I'm not entirely sure he's going to start game week 1. He's going to be an amazing super sub to come on when Jackson gets tired. I think he can do a lot of damage there for Chelsea, but I'm just not really sure he's going to be the man to start game week 1 for me. And last but not least, Carlos Alcarez to Everton, 13 million. The permanent move from, I think it was Botafogo, to be honest, to Everton. 4.7 million. He finished the season with a blinder. He'll be up around 5.5 million. That's generally the average of Everton midfielders. And I expect him to start pretty much every game under Moyes. He will be your enabler. If you need to have Salah and Haaland this season, I'm not saying everyone will, but at the start, if they've both got good fixtures, instead of making the choice, you might need a couple of enablers. And if he's 5.5 or under, he could be one of the best enablers we've got, especially in midfield. 5 goals and assists at 2.5 XGI, completely outperforming his XGI. He should flourish under Moyes. They'll be more attacking than they were under... Apologies, I had to sneeze. They'll be more attacking than they were under Sean Dyche. And I expect him to do pretty well. He's a bit of a pocket rocket. So he's played for Juventus, played for Boca Juniors, played for Southampton. He's been all over the shop. Sorry, not Boca Juniors, Botafogo. I think he should do really well. I'll be keeping a strong eye on him because I think he could be a bit of an enabler and then slam him in when Everton have got a home game and watch him slide. Transfer deadlines this year, there's 2 of them. There's a Club World Cup window, which we've just gone through. That was June 1st to June 10th. And then for some reason, they're closing it for a week so we can focus on the Club World Cup, which starts on the 16th, but then the transfer window is open again until September the 1st. FIFA can do whatever they want, I guess. It just doesn't make sense to me. But that's in case people are confused about a whole bunch of transfers happening early, and then you're going to have nothing but rumors for the next week or so. That's why. Let's have a look. I think I missed a slide there. Give me 2 secs. Just before I finish the video today, I wanted to do a bit of a recap. So I'll be doing this throughout the transfer period. This is just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt if you want. So the confirmed transfers, I'm not going on rumors, I'm going on confirmed transfers. I'm going to put them into this little grid here. So the ones I'm considering for game week 1 are obviously Cunha. If he gets good fixtures and he's guaranteed to start, I think he's a bit of a no-brainer, especially at Manchester United, who want to start well. Florian Wartz is pretty much in the same boat. And then Alcarez, here's my enabler. So he might not even start game week 1, but he might have to be there to enable the other players I'm having in my team. The watch list for me will be Ryan Ait-Nouri at the moment. He's the only one there. I need to wait and see if he's actually going to get game time or how he steps up in this team. And also the avoids, forget my spelling, Frimpong and Delap. I spoke about Delap. He could be a minutes issue with the rest of the Chelsea attackers. But Frimpong, I'm going to change that. There should be an R, not an E. Frimpong, look, he plays the same side as Connor Bradley. Connor Bradley knows the system. Slot likes to have people who know the system. He's done this in the past, so he doesn't have to spend the preseason understanding the team. Doesn't have to have the preseason understanding the system. So Frimpong will come in. He's a world-class player, and I think he'll do really well in this league. I'm not sure he can do it from game week 1. However, he will definitely be someone we keep an eye on, and I think we'll end up bringing him in over the rest of the season. The good thing is for Liverpool, they're not in the Club World Cup for whatever reason. I think it was based on the previous season. They're not in the Club World Cup, so they can have a lot of time. They can have some rest, which, as we know, Mo Salah having rest for an extended period of time means he comes out and hits the ground running. They'll have some rest, and then they'll also be able to play as a team and get to know each other. They're going to have a few more new transfers coming in, so watch this space, and we'll talk about them at a later date as well. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me know down below which one of those 5 transfers you'd likely to bring in, or who do you think will do the best over the next 5 or first 5 game weeks in FPL 25-26. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for tuning in again. My name's Luke, FPL Crusader. Have a good week.